Okay, this is from Prevent and Reverse Sleep Problems by me, Pete Rogers. We're on the chapter 3 now, going about light. The guy who wrote the big book on light is named Martin Moore Eady. And when I first thought his name, I thought, what a wuss, you take your wife's name. But he might be one of those Spanish guys. They have both names, So this guy was a surgery resident at Harvard, and he kept falling asleep during cases. And he just said, forget it. And he dropped out of surgical residency, which is an unusual thing to do. And he went and got a PhD and became a sleep researcher. And he made some big discoveries. This is his book. It's a good book. He's the guy who figured out the hypothalamus. There's a little nucleus that sits right above the optic chiasm. Chiasm means X, so right about the crossing of the optic nerves. And that's a suprachiasmatic nucleus of the hypothalamus. So hypo means below, thalamus is just above it. It's like the relay station between the spinal cord and the brain. And that is the clock of your body. Your body needs to have a clock. Just like you have daytime and nighttime outside, in your body you've got daytime and nighttime as well. When you see blue light coming in from your eyes, it tells the suprachiasmatic nucleus it's daytime, and so your body undergoes all the daytime activities. At night, things change inside your body. It does all its sort of rehabilitation, recharges your batteries, so to speak. And that happens when you no longer see blue light. So you don't want to be looking at blue light at night when you're getting ready to go to bed. Another thing it does is you ramp up your melatonin production in your pineal gland in your brain. And if you're seeing blue light, it shuts that down and it makes it harder for you to sleep. When you first wake up in the morning, that's the most important time to get sunlight. Okay? Women who get more sunlight, they might get a little bit more skin cancers. Whoop-de-doo. Almost nobody ever dies of skin cancer. Yeah, there's melanoma, but melanomas are not that related to sunshine, okay? And he also makes a point, women who get more skin cancer actually are less likely to get more regular cancer. We're made to be out in the sun quite a bit. You don't want to get sunburned, but it's good to get some sun. It's actually good to get at least a little bit of sun every day, at least 5 minutes or so, especially in the morning if possible. So what I do is where I have to work, I'll park my car a little far and I'll walk in the sunlight. I don't go to the roofed-in area. I walk in the sun because I want to get some sunshine. Okay, he says, for 1,000 generations, our ancestors had very bright sunlight during the day and very great darkness at night. Nowadays, we spend most of our time indoors with this twilight of stuff, and it's not good for our circadian rhythms. Okay. I got a bunch of pictures coming up. Okay, good. Here we go. This is the suprachiasmatic nucleus located above the optic chiasm in black here. So suprachiasmatic nucleus is in green. And when you got darkness coming in through your eyeballs, it says, okay, it's nighttime, and it tells the pineal gland here in the back of the third ventricle, this is the pineal gland in purple, it says, make melatonin. Then the melatonin is made, and it goes out to the body, into the blood, through all the mitochondria in your body. In the daytime, the melatonin is made in your mitochondria itself, but at nighttime, it comes from the pineal gland. Okay, now here's the same thing in more detail. I wrote the little clock on the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, to show you what's going on. So at daytime, blue light hits your retina, especially hits the bottom of your retina because it's coming in from above. And that sends a message, suprachiasmatic nucleus, it's daytime, sends a message to pineal gland, shut down melatonin. Okay, at nighttime, though, all this is off, and now darkness comes into your eyeball. And it's like, hey, there's no light. Okay, nighttime, tell the pineal gland to make melatonin. Melatonin's made in the pineal gland, goes out to your body, and it says activate all your sleep pathways, what you're supposed to do while you're sleeping. That's what you want. That's why you want darkness at night, the last couple hours before you go to bed. And melatonin, it rides all over your bed, and it's sort of like riding around telling everybody, it's nighttime, it's nighttime, it's nighttime, okay? And melatonin, it's amphiphilic, meaning like an amphibian. It's part polar, part nonpolar, so it can go right through membranes, go right into mitochondria and do its business. Okay, what it does, so this is pretty cool. Melatonin, when it goes into your mitochondria, it reduces the viscosity, the thickness of the water around your ATP synthase. Now that's the same thing that red light and infrared light do. They liquefy the water in your mitochondria. Now I know you're thinking, what the heck am I talking about? There's 4 phases of water. Everybody knows 3 phases of water. Everybody knows liquid water, gas vapor water, and ice, solid water. But there's a fourth phase. It's a gel. If you crack an egg open, how come water doesn't come out? Because it's in a gel form. If you cut yourself, How come you just bleed blood? You don't bleed water if we're 65% water? It's because most of the water in your body is in a gel form inside your cells. And what appears to be happening based on the papers I've read is that the calcium is fluidizing the gel water inside your cell. And that's why you have all these little micro domains of calcium to activate different parts of the cell. So it can turn one part off, shut another part off. Activate sector 5, send some calcium in there to liquefy the water, shut down sector 9, remove the calcium. That's how it works. That's why calcium is a big activator of everything. Okay? So melatonin entering the mitochondria fluidizes the water so you can make ATP faster. You can spin ATP synthase, the enzyme that makes ATP synthase faster, to make more ATP faster if you need to. It's also an antioxidant to reduce oxidative stress in the mitochondria. It lowers the risk of apoptosis, cell death. It improves mitochondrial function. That's all wonderful news. So you really want to get your sleep. Those are all wonderful things you want. Oh, and then I showed like my little daytime routine. So here's my daytime routine. Okay, wake up in the morning wood if it's a good day, alarm clock goes off, bye-bye morning wood, cortisol goes up, walk around in the day, take a wake-up shower, commute to a boring job. At least when I go to my job, I do a bunch of little things. Like 99% of hospital employees in any hospital you work, they're totally freaking lazy. They all take the elevators, a bunch of wussy wimps. Even though they're healthcare workers, they don't know shit about health. They take the elevator, so they're freaking lazy. They don't exercise. They go to the cafeteria and they eat junk food, okay? I eat low-fat vegan, and when I go up those stairs, I carry 25 pounds of books in my backpack, like a bear walk. So I'm always getting exercise. And I actually do multiple extra stairs during the day. I typically do a minimum of 3 sets. I do a minimum of 30 flights of stairs. Usually I'll try to do more. On a good day, I'll get 50 or more. Okay. So what do I do at work? I work like a slave, kiss the boss's ass, chat with my male friends, discreetly flirt with the lady coworkers, be very polite to customers, you know, what everybody does at work, okay? My favorite part of work is when doctors come to me with their tough cases. A lot of doctors come to me just to ask me about tough cases. That's fun, because then I know they wouldn't come to me if it was an easy case. They come to me because it's a tough case and they want my opinion. So that's sort of my fun part, and then we discuss cases. I like it when I do procedures and I talk to a receptive patient. I like patients that want to learn. A lot of patients, they don't want to learn. They're just like, oh, they really don't want to hear it. If you talk diet and lifestyle, they think you're bullshitting them. Anyways, that's how it works. Let's see. Then I go home, shit shower, showtime, make a couple YouTube videos. All right. Then my wife yaps at me, hurry up, it's time to eat dinner. And then we watch a video, but we don't always watch a video together because I can only take so many of these Ksenia videos. My wife and my ex-wife, their favorite YouTube channel is Ksenia, which is this lady who basically mocks and hassles her boyfriend to get more money out of him, okay? That's the mentality of women, okay? You think I'm kidding. I wish I was, all right? Let's see, here we go. Let's see, finish dinner, floss my teeth, go to bed. Weekend is my only freedom. All right, a good routine for most people is think in the morning, do your challenging intellectual academic work in the morning, act in the noon, get your exercise, eat at night, socialize, and go to sleep. Now here's the spectrum of light. So visible light is from violet to red. If it has a shorter wavelength than violet, it's called ultraviolet, so you can't see ultraviolet. That's the one that sunburns you. Okay, a little bit of ultraviolet to get a tan is a good thing. That also releases nitric oxide precursors from your subcutaneous tissue, the tissue right beneath your skin. So there is something good about a little bit of it. The short wavelengths don't penetrate well, so you just wear a shirt and you can prevent yourself getting a sunburn. Like all the lawnmower guys, they wear a long sleeve shirt, a sombrero, long pants. Okay. Now the red light is different. More than 50%, about 54% of the sunlight spectrum is going to be red and infrared. That actually has a real beneficial effect on you. That, with the long wavelengths, it will penetrate through your body. You can put a detector behind the person. It goes all the way through the person. And that also liquefies the gel fluid in your mitochondria, so you can spin your ATP synthase faster and make more ATP. It especially works first thing in the morning. So that first morning sunlight helps to get your mitochondria going. You know how you first wake up out of bed if you had a deep sleep and and you wake up in the morning, it takes a little while before you get yourself going. You get out in that sunlight whoop, gets your mitochondria going faster. That's another thing it does. Plus it sets your circadian rhythm. As soon as you wake up in the morning, I turn on the bright lights, wake me up so my body knows, okay, now it is daytime. Okay, and then at night, as soon as I get done with these videos, I shut all the light off. Okay. But that's an important point. You need to know that. Ultraviolet light, short wavelengths, doesn't penetrate. You can block it with a shirt. Red and infrared light, long wavelengths, they penetrate all through your body, even if you got 1, 2, or 3 shirts on. Okay, because that's what's going to get into red light therapy and all that stuff, so you need to know that. Okay, the big thing that causes your sleep drive is the accumulation of adenosine through the day. So adenosine keeps accumulating. It's a chemical in your body that goes up as you are awake for longer amounts of time. It accumulates in your brain. It tells you, time to sleep, time to sleep. And what's wonderful is if you exercise, you get an additional accumulation of adenosine. And that's why I love a treadmill so much. You can titrate the dose. Okay, see what it takes. Like for me, I know it takes, if I walk 2 miles, it doesn't really make a difference. But I walk 3 miles, I sleep better. I walk 5 miles, I sleep good. If I walk 7 miles, I sleep really well. And I get a ton of reading done on that treadmill. So I basically titrate my dose. Well, I think I need 7 miles a day, maybe 8 or 9, okay? You got to have the time. So I can only do it when I got the time. But I really like it. I'm very happy with the treadmill. And going upstairs I like too, because the more intensity of the exercise, the more adenosine you get from it. So stairs are difficult to go up. You know, you go up 10, 11 flights of stairs, you can't bullshit the stairs. You have to go up. So I know I'm huffing and puffing a little bit after I go up 10 flights of stairs, so that's good. Whereas I can walk 7 miles and barely break a sweat walking at, like about 3.3 is a common speed I'll walk at when I'm walking 7 or more miles. Because sometimes I'll do that 3 days in a row, and I don't want to overstrain my knees, because I can easily go faster. My heart, my lungs want to go faster, but my ankles and my knees say, oh, let's just stay at 3.3. So, you got to keep everything working. It's better to complete your workout at 3.3 than to go at 4 and injure yourself. So, real dark at night. Dr. Moridi points out that the sun's about 1,000 times brighter than indoor light. So that's why the sunlight really helps you to set your circadian rhythms. The other thing is, like I was mentioning, that red light, because it penetrates through everything, it also goes through clouds. So on a cloudy day, you're still getting the red and infrared light, meaning that you do want to get out in the morning if you can for at least 5 minutes to get that infrared and red light. Okay. So the main things that make you sleepy are adenosine accumulating, darkness at night, so your melatonin goes up, the melatonin itself, also oxytocin. So oxytocin is sort of the love and safety and peacefulness hormone. Okay, so you want to be taking it easy. You don't want to be creating unnecessary stress in your day and your night. So avoid toxic, stressful people if you can. You can't always avoid them. Sometimes you can't avoid them. Sometimes you're stuck in the middle of a stressful thing, but don't add to it. Okay, all of those things will help you to sleep better. Okay, I think we're going to call it a night at this moment for today. We'll continue with the next section tomorrow. Hope you found that interesting.